Hey guys, we've sold our house and we have nowhere to go.
Let's talk about the plan.
Welcome back, guys. I am Sid. This is my husband, Mike. And if you've been following along with the channel at all, you know that we are in Southern California and we were debating about whether or not to leave California. And we decided to go ahead and do that.
We're not debating that anymore.
We're not debating it. Decisions were made. We put our house on the market. And guess what, guys? We got an offer on the house that we liked. We accepted it. And we are now in escrow.
Escrow.
But we haven't fully decided on a state,
right,
or
so
a house.
It is go time,
yeah.
And we are not ready.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about what we are going to do to get ready now and what we've done so far to kind of narrow it down in our search. So I will say we do have it narrowed down to about 4 states.
I feel like it's like 3 states and then one that's still a little bit of a contender.
Yeah, it is. It's really like 3 states. So we're really looking at Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, and a little bit of Arkansas.
And specifically, when we say Oklahoma, we're talking about East Oklahoma in the tree line. Right? Pretty much north to south. Tennessee, there's a few properties in Middle Tennessee area we're looking at, staying way away from Memphis, not too close to Nashville. And then East Tennessee, where I grew up, is definitely on the hot list.
Yep.
And then Mississippi, pretty much all of northern Mississippi is a contender. Definitely north of Jackson, maybe even farther north than that. Arkansas is so beautiful. I am frustrated with Arkansas. Let me tell you something, Arkansas, I'm frustrated with you. There's a lot of beautiful places in Arkansas we just can't solve for the internet. We don't have time to get the Elon Musk solution online.
As we mentioned before, we really need the internet right away. Mike's going to be working remote and we need as little downtime as possible after the relocation process.
Right.
So we can't wait and get on a waiting list for internet or have spotty internet. It needs to be happy, joy right away. And
I'll put a link at the end of this video to the the last video we did where we went over the criteria.
And we're actively looking, guys. I mean, we have real estate agents now in Oklahoma, in Tennessee, in Mississippi, and we have one in Arkansas too that David from Come On Homesteading recommended to us. So we are actively having them look. We gave them our criteria list and we said, see what you can do and let's see what you guys can find in the next week or so. And we're really, it's go time. We're really looking.
Yeah. You can watch our previous video about, the pros and cons and how we narrowed it down, but we can kind of briefly go over that.
We were looking at climate. We were looking at the schools. We were looking at the crime rate in the area and the distance to the nearest big city or big town. Those were the main things for the area that we were looking at, of course, and the internet, because that's super important. So those things were really the main criteria that we were looking at. And then beyond that, it was what properties are we seeing in those areas that check the boxes specific to the property? Does it have water on it? Does it have a home on it? Is the home meet some of the criteria we're looking for? And then of course, price, because that's important too.
We're on a timeline, we're on a crunch, and we're finding more of what we like in Oklahoma, upper Mississippi, and Tennessee. So that's kind of where we're focused. Tennessee, I really like the idea of Tennessee. I'm originally from Tennessee. I'll say that it's definitely of the 3, the priciest.
The houses are beautiful, the land is beautiful, but again, we're getting the whole, I won't say the whole point, but one of the main things about leaving California for another state too is not being quite so house poor like you are out here. Not being so tied to it financially like you are out here. So the idea of being able to have a lower mortgage, or potentially in some situations no mortgage depending on what route we go, and having maybe a little money set aside as well, is very appealing, especially right now. So with that being said, while the houses that we're finding in some of those areas and the properties may tick a lot of boxes, price-wise, while it's technically in the realm of what we could afford, it's do we want to afford that? Do we want to make that the main thing? And I think we're passing on some properties that are beautiful simply because of that, the price point. Luckily, we've been able to make a lot of great contacts with other farming and homesteading channels that we've met over the last couple of years through, the YouTube meetup and Shoot Dang Fest and just watching and commenting on other people's channels. We've met Tim from Ridge Life, who's in Tennessee. We've met Come On Homesteading, who was in Florida and was in Texas and is now in Arkansas with the 41.36 and
right.
Simple Life Reclaimed.
There's
and
several
CRC.
channels right there.
Yeah, there's a bunch. And then we've got, obviously in Oklahoma, you've got all of the Crockers.
Right.
You've got Christy from Paragon Ridge Ranch. You've got, Dutch, and you've got Arms Family Homestead. You've got a lot of people right there that are really into this kind of lifestyle, and also YouTube as well. So those are all things that we're kind of taking into consideration, and
right.
some of their feedback of the ones that we're kind of friends with and keep in contact with.
Right. And, those channels, it really behooves them to network with each other. I've seen it. I've watched some of these channels grow, and the networking that they do with the other channels in their area is really important. And where we're located, this space that we're in, kind of homesteading, farming, whatever you want to call it, preppers, we're like lone wolves out here.
Yeah, we're like a little island.
Right. We are.
YouTube island.
We're the only ones that think the way we think here. But then, back there in Oklahoma and Tennessee and Texas, I just recently discovered the Max down in Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Tim, by the way. I binge watched a bunch of their videos, and they're very like-minded also. I'm sure I'll be reaching out to them, do a lot of prepper videos, and there's just so many like-minded people and the ability to network. Now we're not trying to move to an area because of a channel. Like, right. We didn't ask a realtor to go find us a piece of land on the other side of the mountain from the 41.36.
Right.
Because that's weird. We're not trying to move to...
I'm not trying to stalk you.
Right, we're not trying to move to where Arms Family is. I'm not even sure where they are. They're in Oklahoma somewhere.
There, yeah.
There's a reason those channels are in those areas. I'll just say that. There's a reason they're there, because the land, the climate is conducive to that lifestyle.
Yeah. And there's a lot of... out here, there's a lot of people that are like-minded, I would say, but none of them have channels. And so in that sense, it's like out there, a lot of people are like-minded and a lot of them have channels. So it's really easy to network with people and to do some collabs. And even if we ended up in a state that of those options, or in an area of those options that we mentioned, that maybe none of those people are, we're at worst a day's drive away.
Yeah, no matter where we land back there, we're a 6-7 hour drive from a networking opportunity. If I want to put bees on our property, I would want to network with another channel that does bees, right? That's the smart thing to do, and that's I'm super excited about all of the things that really are more important for us about the move. But I'm still excited about that, about being able to go to the meetup with you next year and just being closer to...
I can prove that he actually exists next year, guys, when we go and...
I'm not a hologram.
He's not a hologram, or somebody that I made up in Photoshop on the interweb.
The interweb?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So with the house completely in escrow now, we've accepted the offer from this great young couple. We're really excited that they're the ones that put the offer on the house that we ended up accepting, because they just got married, they're just starting their life together. They are very excited about having the garden that Mike has built up out there, rocking and rolling already. They're excited to start out with a few chickens. They love the property, they love the house.
He grew up on a farm.
She's from the Midwest. They get it, and they are as excited as we were about this place when we came here and saw all the projects that we could start. They just are lucking out because they're getting them already kind of
a lot of them already done.
Yeah. So yay for them.
But they'll have their own.
They'll have their own things that they're going to want to do or redo in here, and I totally understand. They might.
It's weird to think that.
It is weird to think they hate this color and they want to paint it right away.
They're going to be what were those hillbillies thinking with this?
You never know.
But it's their house.
It's their house, and they can do with it what they want. It is, it is one of those things where it's bittersweet, because we love this place. We never thought we'd leave. We are relieved and excited that the people that are going to be that we're passing this little torch to are as excited and love this place as much as we do, and see it for all the wonderful things that it has to offer. So that kind of eases the sting, I think, for me at least a little bit. You know, it's sort of like when you adopt a baby out or something, I guess, that you want them to love it too.
Right.
Now we're just waiting to hear back from these real estate agents in these areas that we're talking about looking at, because if they find a property, it's gonna be go time. It's gonna be hopefully me hopping on a plane to go look at a property or two in the next week or two.
And you know, the really good properties are going fast. Like, I honestly think that
we've talked about we might have to put an offer.
We might have to make an offer sight unseen, and then get on a plane.
You know, no pressure for me to like go officially check it out without him there, right? Like if I miss something or whatever. But
hey, babe, how come you didn't tell me there's a swamp in the backyard?
Right? Like something. I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't miss something like that.
It's 20 acres and 18 of it's swamp.
Yeah, you know, whatever. Right. I'm sure we'll have that stuff nailed down before I actually.
You said you wanted water.
Yeah, exactly. Before I actually get on a plane, but you never know. That's going to be the next portion of this journey. Is hopefully, you know, finding a place that we finally go, oh my gosh, this is it. And then me hopping on a plane to, you know, officially, I guess, put the crouch stamp of approval on it and make sure it's okay.
And it's so scary to think that the next step we need to make is to make a decision on a property and make a offer. I mean, we're looking at so many properties right now. We have 4 real estate agents that we're communicating with. And it's hard to forget which one's in which state and which one, like, which house goes with which piece of land. I mean, I'm struggle busting with that. Yeah. Keeping it all straight. But and trying to narrow it down to one and commit and make an offer. But then the flip side of it is our house is sold. Like, we're gonna run out of time.
Yeah, there's no real backing out at this point. It's game on. I mean, we've accepted it, and you know, there's still things like, you know, they got to go through their inspections and, you know,
termites, septic,
you have all your contingency stuff. But you know, that's only a few days, and then it's done, and then you're locked in. So it's definitely. I'm hoping we can find something that we like before those lift, and then once that lifts, I think it's going to be like get on a plane or put the offer in, and then we'll see what happens. But follow along with us, you guys, for this journey. It's getting serious now because this house is not ours anymore. So we're just kind of on borrowed time here. Which that's like you most of the time.
Crazy. What are you talking about? I didn't borrow it, I stole it.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one.